Good evening, and welcome to the 109th annual meeting of the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies. Tonight, we'll be honoring our legacy, celebrating our donors, and envisioning the future. Well, I can't see you out there. Based upon the registrations, this is our largest audience ever. The Foundation, along with the rest of our community, has adapted in response to COVID-19. Our virtual annual meeting is a good example, but this is only the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, the Foundation team worked tirelessly to ensure that we serve our community without disruption. Congratulations to the team, and I thank you. For those of you who don't know me, and after this past year, I hope that's few, I'm Irv Levy, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director of the Foundation. If we haven't met, I look forward to doing so, hopefully soon and hopefully in person. Work at the Foundation is not a job, it's a mission. The Foundation is critical to our Jewish Buffalo community, and a strong foundation is critical for a strong community. I find it interesting how the names of our community agencies were chosen. The Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies. The Foundation. This speaks to the base upon which our community is built. The Foundation is here to ensure that our community has the resources needed for strong Jewish agencies in the future. A solid foundation is required to build anything that will endure the test of time. Our foundation preserves the legacy of our donors, the history of our Jewish community, and ensures that the future is the best part of the story, vibrant and secure. Prior to taking on the role of Executive Director, I served as the Foundation's CFO and COO. Over the past 2 years, I've been very inwardly focused as the Foundation performed an extensive review of our policies and procedures, looking for ways to improve. I'm pleased to say, while the job is never finished, the team has made amazing progress. We now turn our attention outward, focusing on our donors and the needs of our agencies. COVID-19 has brought about challenges for everyone. Challenges bring out the best and the worst in people. I'm proud of our Jewish community's response. COVID has brought out the best. Creativity and collaboration have never been greater. Speaking of collaboration, I'm pleased with the Foundation's efforts to work with all of our community partners, especially the Federation, where we've worked closely in the areas of back office administration, marketing, fundraising, including jointly launching the Community Compassion Fund and the Community Support Fund for Jewish Dignity in Death. After nearly 110 years, the Foundation has a lot to be proud of, and our work in the past is directly connected to our work in the future, preserving our Jewish Buffalo history. For nearly a decade, the Foundation has sponsored the Jewish Buffalo Archives Project. Today, and into the future, the Jewish Buffalo Federation is using the Archives Project as a base to create the Jewish Buffalo History Center, an interactive museum showcasing the history of Jewish Buffalo, preserving the legacies of those individuals and families upon which our community is built. Tonight, we're thrilled to share the stories of a couple of our families who have made a commitment to our community as part of their family's legacy, passing that commitment from one generation to the next, Lador Vador. Today, as we have for the past century, the Foundation is working with those philanthropic individuals and families who want to leave a legacy and make an impact on the future. We're working with our partner agencies on capital and endowment campaigns to meet the needs of our community today and into the future. As we look to the future, the Foundation is updating our website to improve donor access, to highlight our community's critical needs, and to ensure that the Foundation's Legacy Society not only provides for the names of those who have built our community, but also shares more details of who they are and what inspired them to do what they did. Many of you have heard me say, you create a legacy by touching people while you're alive. You preserve a legacy by touching people after you have passed. At the Foundation, the members of our Legacy Society have preserved their legacies by enabling the Foundation to continue touching people's lives after they've passed. The Foundation carries out the donor's mission that was entrusted to us. As part of the website redesign, we updated the Foundation's logo. It felt natural to draw inspiration from the familiar and rich presence of the Tree of Life. Current and past generations are the roots that nurture and sustain the tree. Growing branches and leaves are the future generations, nurtured by the spiritual and financial support our efforts make possible. Balance between the past and the future, a connection between the generations, a reminder of how a simple act of kindness can have a profound effect. We purposefully chose a tree that looks abstract and futuristic, as we want to draw upon all that the Tree of Life means to us, while remembering to set our sights on the future, a consistent reminder of our mission and the blessings brought about by working together. At the end of our meeting, you'll have a special opportunity to listen to the music of Marcel Tieberg. Tieberg was a gifted composer who perished in Auschwitz. Tonight, Tieberg's Symphony No. 3 will be performed by the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra. During the concert, we'll be sharing photographic memories from years gone by. I hope you enjoy seeing some of your friends and possibly yourself. Please enjoy the treats in your goodie bags and join me in thanking Gretchen Gross and Kim Yanati for chairing the Foundation's very first virtual meeting. Your thoughtful planning made the evening special. While I can't thank everyone, I would like to send a special shout out to Jill Kamm, Barbara Miller, and Mike Steckloff, and all those special people who delivered the goodie bags directly to your home. Now please welcome Rabbi Adam Rosenbaum, the newly installed rabbi for Temple Beth Tzedek, who will provide the invocation and memoriam. Although he's only recently come to our community, Rabbi Rosenbaum has already made a difference. Let me ask, coincidence? Rabbi Rosenbaum comes to town, and almost immediately we have Major League Baseball.
I'm so glad to be in Buffalo, and I'm so thrilled to be with the Foundation for this celebration, albeit virtually. In the Torah portion that we'll read this coming Shabbat, the very first Torah portion of the year, Parshat Breshit, we learn about the creation of the universe. What we don't read about is what happened before the creation of the universe. But how's that possible? How is it possible to create something before everything is created? The rabbis reason that there were numerous things that God put into motion prior to that very first day of creation, because the moment of creation was not the beginning of time. It was simply the beginning of the time that God is recognized as sovereign of the universe. By having those number of things that sort of back up a supply of items before the creation of the universe, it means that God has the proper backup and the proper support to be able to move forward in a great production. So too does this foundation provide the background support to make sure that the Buffalo Jewish community is itself a great production. We thank you for your continuous support of our institutions, of our synagogues, of our educational programs, and so much more. We know that every great production has an incredible crew behind the scenes. We will continue to support one another, God willing, and we'll continue to ensure that we are bringing one another from strength to strength. Amen.
We pause to remember those community leaders, donors, and friends of the Foundation who have passed away since our last annual meeting. Dr. Roland Anthone, Irving Atlas, Ruth S. Axelrod, Sheldon B. Benetovich, Dr. Melvin G. Block, Bertram Breitbart, Dr. Melvin M. Brothman, Audrey Bunis, Dr. Gary N. Cohen, Mary D. Cohen, Belle DeBruin, Ruth Elkin, Miriam W. Enos, Leonard J. Freed, Paul Friedman, Irving Garelik, Harvey J. Gross, Irving Eisenberg, Paul A. Leff, Betty Levin, Jack Levin, Dr. Murray Levine, Louis S. Lipka, Ellen Markle, Jerome L. Michaels, Dr. Gordon Middleman, H. Ernest Montgomery, Kathleen D. Moran, Gerald M. Nimmelman, Lawrence B. Oppenheimer, Leonid Pollock, Louis Pozarny, Elkin L. Reese, Louis G. Rogers, Anita Rothschild, Erwin M. Rovner, Jerome D. Schiller, Erwin G. Schreiber, Sandra W. Sheldon, Victor C. Silverstein, Susan Revo Solander, Joan C. Stovroff, Joan Sugarman, Beatrice Soltz, Cecile Tegler, Sally Tybell, Alan Vogt, Dr. Ilya Weinrieb, Lois Weinstein, Rita G. Weiss, Harry Wiseman, Jerome M. Yavno.
Thank you, Rabbi Rosenbaum. Please welcome Don Konstam, President of the Foundation, for the President's Report.
Good evening. We've weathered some difficult times, including the COVID crisis, but I'm pleased to report that, from the standpoint of the Foundation, we've come through it with strength and enthusiasm. In the midst of coronavirus and all of its ramifications, our staff, under the leadership of Irv Levy, has adjusted to the disruptions and continues with loyalty and determination to provide the services to which we are dedicated. We have recently updated our mission statement to read, "Empower donors to fulfill their passions and dreams by establishing charitable vehicles designed to create a positive and enduring impact on Jewish Buffalo, Western New York, and the world." Our passion is to help you discover your passion and to facilitate its implementation. We are both a committee and board-driven organization, giving our lay leadership an opportunity to shape the direction of our services both now and as times and generations change in the future. At the same time, we provide additional members within our community who share our aspirations and goals an opportunity to participate in our committee activities to help envision and inspire our services and our future. Our new bylaws have added additional mission-based committees, which create opportunities for more members of our community to become meaningfully involved. If you think that sounds like an invitation to become involved, it is. The Foundation continues to remain financially sound. We are investing in automation to enhance productivity and improve our client experience. We're collaborating with Buffalo Jewish Federation and Jewish Buffalo to add efficiencies and provide unified services to our Jewish community and its agencies to better serve their current and future needs and challenges. One of our prime goals has been to add additional value to our donors and clients. As we move forward, we'll be reaching out to thank you for your past support and make sure that what we've established together over many years is still current and still meets your personal objectives. We will also be providing outreach to you and the community regarding the legacy planning opportunities available for the benefit of you and your families, as well as the organizations and institutions you wish to support and honor. I'm pleased to announce the newly established Community Endowment Fund, a permanent endowment fund administered by the Foundation. Together with the Buffalo Jewish Federation, the fund will provide support for ever-changing needs of our Jewish community and use of the income from the fund to meet urgent needs on a timely basis. We invite you to participate in this vital fund either during your lifetime or as a legacy upon your death. We are ever grateful to Wayne and Janet Wisbaum for providing the leadership gift with which this fund was established. As I approach the end of my presidency, I could not be prouder of our dedicated staff, board, and committee members who have helped shape our vision and facilitate its implementation. Under the inspiring leadership of Jonathan Schechter as your new president starting in 2021, I see opportunity for significant future growth in the delivery of our essential services to Jewish Buffalo, Western New York, and the world. These past 2 years have been a most inspiring and fulfilling experience. Thank you for the opportunity and honor of letting me serve the foundation as your president.
And now I'd like to call up Arnie Kahn, the chair of the Foundation's Governance Committee. Arnie will provide this year's committee report.
As chairman of the Governance Committee, I'm very pleased to present the slate of officers and new board members for 2021. President Jonathan Schechter, Vice President Gretchen Gross, Vice President Allison Keene, Vice President Peter Weinman, Secretary Kenneth Schuman, and Treasurer Daniel Kester. And our new board members are Michael Joseph, Dr. Joel Paul, Esther Quarterone, Justin Wright, Kenneth Rogers, Alan Rosenhock, and Lauren Steinhardt. At this time, I would like to especially thank Cantor Penny Myers, who is retiring from our board. Penny's guidance and insight over the years have made a positive impact on the foundation and our Jewish community. In our appreciation for her many years of service, we are presenting Cantor Penny with a beautiful menorah with the hope that this menorah brings light into your home and reminds you of our appreciation for all the good work that you do. 2020 has been a year filled with many challenges at the foundation and should be considered as one of the most gratifying, having achieved several key accomplishments. We effectively made key modifications to our bylaws, changed the title of the leadership of the foundation to executive director, and formed several new departments and committees that needed to be addressed. Our board stepped up to the tasks along with Irv Levy's tireless commitment to putting the foundation on a stronger financial path forward and encouraging our staff to be more efficient and effective in serving our donor base. Our Human Resources Department addressed our compensation and benefits packages, including health insurance, and arrived at a more equitable plan that serves the needs of both our employees and the foundation. I can't be more appreciative of newly elected board members this year who have agreed to take on some of the heavy lifting that allowed us to move forward at an accelerated pace. Having faced a most daunting year in 2019, we needed to give our donors reassurance that the foundation was headed in the right direction. We are in the process of reviewing resumes of candidates for a donor relationship manager to work closely with our interim executive director and develop a closer bond with our donor base. I feel confident going into 2021 that we will continue our path forward to strengthen the foundation and have the commitment of our newly elected officers and board of trustees to continue on the footprint prepared this year. I want to especially thank Irv Levy for his excellent leadership and Don Konstam, who has done an amazing job as president. As my term comes to an end, I am pleased to report that Don will be taking over my role as chair of the Governance Committee. A hearty congratulations to all of you. Shana Tova.
Thank you, Arnie. And now, a very special part of our evening. I'm delighted to celebrate some of our community's gems, some very special families that have and continue to make a difference. This year's theme for the annual meeting is one of looking back on what we've already accomplished and looking forward on what we still hope to achieve. It can be summed up by these special families who have a multi-generational history of service and philanthropy in our community. I'd like to thank the Katz family, Judy and Len, Susie and Jeff and Jake, for sharing their family's inspirational story.
This is a wonderful occasion to be thinking about our family, and I think we have been a very blessed Jewish family here in America.
We've been married 62 years. All our children married Jewish. Our grandchildren married Jewish, and our 2 little great-grandchildren aren't married yet.
So we have a grand family together, and we feel the blessing of being here and being a family together.
I have a gift in life that I came from a wonderful family with Jewish values and always giving and a lot of public service, always trying to make a difference in the lives of others. My husband and I hope that we give these values to our children because we were really placed on this earth to help others.
As a kid growing up, you feel that. And that certainly rubbed off on myself, my brother and my sister, because that was a part of our household, was the 2 of them giving back to the community. So it gets instilled in you, and it becomes a part of me right from the very beginning.
I think identifying as Jewish is very important in terms of the values that it teaches, and I think that's something that I try and be proud of, and be proud of my Jewish heritage, and watching my dad and mom being very involved in the Jewish community, whether it's Jewish Federation or through the JCC. So I felt that it was necessary to be involved and to be committed to it. It's great. I feel very
We're proud of you, that's for sure.
Jake makes us very proud.
Yeah.
4 people here are very proud of you.
Thanks.
I think it's really important, and Jacob is a model for it, that we get the young people involved in the Jewish community because they're going to be the Jewish community of the future.
A lot of it starts with the state of Israel. Our family's been very involved. We have relatives in Israel. My 2 daughters, Lexi and Zoe, were bat mitzvahed by Shai Mintz on the top of Masada. So we've been to Israel a number of times. It's been such a big part of our heritage. So always wanting to contribute to the state of Israel, support the state of Israel, certainly has been a big part of our family legacy.
He inspired me, and we began going there. In fact, we went to Israel on our honeymoon. We met some of his colleagues there, and then we traveled about, met old friends of ours. We've been to Israel 11 times, so we remain committed, connected, and feeling that our future is really tied up with the future of Israel.
One of the wonderful things about the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies is that it is a great place for people to leave a legacy.
It's a fabulous organization because they facilitated our giving. Wherever we wanted our money to go, it was given there easily.
Yeah.
And I think we all have needs in the Jewish community, and the foundation was very much aware of where the needs were and how the money could be distributed.
Many people are looking for an opportunity to affect future generations, and using the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies, it gives them an opportunity to leave a legacy, to leave money, so that it can support future generations. And one of the great ways to do that is through education.
Education is the core value. I mean, it's the core value of how we've raised our children, and giving not only Jewish children, but all children education so they understand how they need to live in a community, support their community.
So for young people coming into the world today, it's impossible for us or anybody sitting here really to know what their world is going to be like. But I think one thing we do know, in order to thrive, they will need to develop skills that will require time and support to make it possible for that to happen to them.
And that's really creating scholarship opportunities, and that's where a legacy can really exist. If somebody gives a gift now, it can exist for generations. And I think the foundation presents that opportunity.
Giving back and being involved has really been intrinsic to our family.
You're president of 2 temples.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is absolutely true.
You have to find causes that you really believe in and support, or even invent a cause, or start something new that will help others. You can make a difference.
The last few months, it's just really sitting back and understanding what is important in life, is our family, is how we treat each other, and how we are able to support our community.
I would urge anyone to create endowments for the future for whatever cause they believe in through the foundation. I believe very strongly that public service is a necessity for everybody. It's what you give back to having your place on this earth.
We know this world is imperfect, and we know that we need to do our parts to help that world, and we hope we can do that. We hope we've done a little.
Now, we'll hear the story of the Weiss Honor family. Rosalind Weiss and Maxine and Steve Honor will share the lessons learned, passed through the generations, service today, and support for the future.
I'm known as Bubby, and my mother was Bubby, and my grandmother was Bubby, and they came over from Russia. They fled the pogroms, and they became very involved when they got here in Buffalo. And at 18, I became very involved in Hadassah. It thrilled me to no end. I loved it, and that's been my whole life.
Yeah, my mom was always involved, and so we always grew up knowing that about the Jewish community. We were very involved with, Hebrew school and temple and giving back and doing tzedakah when we were younger. And then my father raised us to help people who couldn't help themselves, and it was about giving back to people in need. So that's where we learned all that from both of them. And it was very important that we instilled that into our children. They had choices when they were little. Do you want a big birthday party or a little birthday party? If you want gifts, then you have a little birthday party. If you want a big birthday party, then you have to choose an organization or do something for someone else. We did school supplies for an inner city school that we found, and then my children would then go deliver the items and meet the kids.
It was Maxine's idea, but I remember thinking how brilliant that was. And it was, I thought, something that not only would teach our kids, teach their classmates, teach the classmates' parents, that, we're all privileged and we have this opportunity to provide for others in our community.
Local community is very important to us, because if we don't help out our own local community, no one else will.
What we sort of all knew was that there was a shrinking demographic here in Buffalo among the Jewish community. I think the challenge is to create some kind of an endowment here in Buffalo for the Jewish community to continue.
The foundation itself is a great vehicle to learn about different charities or people in need. So by using those resources, we're able to expand our horizons of what's out there and who needs what.
But hopefully we can preserve the history that we have, preserve this wonderful legacy for the future generations.
Whatever it is, you can have the foundation help you organize and plan for the future of the next 50 or 100 years, that they can get the income from that. And it really makes a huge difference. And the best way to leave a legacy for their families or for themselves is through philanthropy. So we have to teach the young people, we have to teach the older people that if we don't do it, there might not be time for the next generation to be able to do it.
We're hoping to leave a legacy for our community, for our children. Some of the things that have been very important to us over the years have been the Jewish community here in Buffalo, the Jewish community abroad, helping the children, whether it's Read to Succeed, Make-A-Wish, helping out at Children's Hospital, So I think that's a legacy that my children have seen us do through our example, and I have a good feeling that they're going to both be philanthropic throughout their lives.
I was always raised to do for others what they might not be able to do for themselves. And it's not about seeing your name in lights or getting your name on a building. It's about helping people that you can actually see and feel and touch that you've helped. And if we don't do it, no one's going to do it. And that's very important to us.
But my parents always said that the most important thing is to continue to give and grow and become a part of the Jewish community.
What amazing stories, what special legacies. These are just a few of the stories that the foundation has to tell. The stories of our donors who built our community and those who are ensuring that our Jewish community is strong into the future. Let the foundation help you preserve your legacy and allow you to change the future. To these families and to all the members of the Foundation's Legacy Society, thank you. And now I'd like to welcome Jonathan Schechter, our incoming president, who will share the Foundation's vision for the future.
I'm so excited to be the incoming president of the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies. There is nothing that I am more passionate about than helping individuals and families with their charitable planning. Our little foundation presents a wonderful opportunity to continue to help our community receive charitable funding and help our community members direct such charitable funding. You have been told about the assets under management and the grants that have been given out over the past year. Here are some other numbers. Our foundation has 279 donor-advised funds. These are funds set up by our clients whereby we manage and they advise where the principal or income should be distributed. We also have 256 restricted funds. These are typically funds set up where the principal or a portion thereof remains intact and the income is distributed in accordance with the terms of that fund. We also manage 432 custodial funds on behalf of our 29 agencies and synagogues in Western New York. Lastly, we have numerous charitable remainder trusts and the like, which we also manage. Believe it or not, it is amazing that we have so many donor-advised funds, restricted funds, and trusts with the small staff that we've had over the years. In the past, the foundation had one key person, Peter Fleischman, who was a chief cook, sous chef, bottle washer, marketing director, and salesperson. With Peter's retirement, we of course had to reassess how we should move forward with our donor outreach to continue to improve donor satisfaction and assist them with their charitable desires. We know that times are changing for charitable giving. There is competition from many low-cost commercial players like the Fidelities, Vanguards, and Schwabs, from within our own community philanthropy, including other community foundations, other federated giving campaigns, as well as local not-for-profits who are more advanced and can reach out directly to their donors. We need to be nimble and remain competitive. Just looking at our assets under management or the dollars we make in grants on an annual basis is not sufficient to determine if we are successful. We need to have satisfied donors. We need to create excitement among our donors. We have to work closely with our friends at the Jewish Federation and our agencies to create project-based giving and/or giving circles. We need to provide strong customer service and communicate with our donors directly so that they stay motivated and excited. We need to be able to show our donors that there is an impact not only with the grants they desire to make out of their donor-advised funds, but the impact on the projects that we as a community work on together and help raise funds for together. Our donors have to be satisfied so that they too will refer new donors to our foundation. As you know, the best compliment is always a referral. We will be implementing more personal contact with our new donors, not only from our professional staff, but also our lay leaders. In the past 2 years, under Don Comstam's leadership, He has refreshed our board with new leaders that are passionate about giving, about impact giving, supporting our local agencies and projects. We have been able to create cross-pollination of board members who sit on various local agency boards as well as our Jewish Federation board. We will be implementing new programs to educate parents and their children about charitable giving. We are giving thought to having groups of our donors assigned as philanthropic advisors. That includes professional staff as well as lay leaders from our board. We will no longer be reactive, but we will be proactive to our donors. We will work hand in hand with the Jewish Federation of Greater Buffalo and the other agencies in our community as our population shrinks. We as a community have been able to make strategic decisions to either merge programs and agencies, get out of certain businesses, and ensure that we are leveraging our precious charitable dollars in a manner that will provide the most impact in our community. We will no longer gauge ourselves on the size of our assets, grant making, and other campaigns, but how much of an impact we make under the not-for-profits we support. For example, how many meals do we help provide to Kosher Meals on Wheels? How many scholarships do we give to college-age graduate-level students from the various scholarship funds? How many students were served at the high holidays through Chabad of Buffalo or Hillel of Buffalo? How many young adults were able to travel to Israel as a result of the scholarships provided? By engaging our donors and letting them know the impact that we make in our community, we will ensure that the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies will be around for another 100 years.
Thank you, Jonathan. The Foundation has had a wonderful past, and the future is only brighter. Don Kohnstam is retiring from the position of president. The past 2 years have seen unprecedented change at the Foundation, and Don can be very proud of what was accomplished. Many a week, Don spent more hours working at the Foundation than he did in his professional practice. I've personally enjoyed every minute we've worked together. Thank you. The Foundation is prepared for the future. The Foundation thanks you. In recognition of all that you've done, the individual members of the board are making a permanently endowed gift to the Community Endowment Fund. Your legacy and your service to Jewish Buffalo will continue forever. The creation of the Community Endowment Fund was one of Don's most special accomplishments, and it's a privilege to support a cause so dear to him.
Irv, thank you, and particular thanks to the board. As you know, the Community Endowment Fund was a passion of mine, and it is truly an honor, and to have this as a thank you for the service I gave is just the most important thing that you could have ever have done. And I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Teresa David is retiring from the Foundation. Teresa, over your 25 years of service, you've not only been a co-worker and a mentor, but a friend. You set the example to be followed, and you're cherished by those of us who were fortunate enough to have worked with you. We're going to miss you. However, I have a feeling you will remain connected to the Foundation. Your shoes aren't easy to fill. However, your planning and attention to detail ensures that the team you built and the Foundation that you love will continue to thrive. Your retirement is truly deserved with a job well done.
Thank you, Irv, for that beautiful and heartfelt introduction. The past 25 years have taught me a lot about the importance of community, rising to help each other grow together, both within the Foundation and the Jewish community as a whole. The time I've spent here has been rewarding, and I can't think of a better place to have worked and a better team to work with. As I start my new life in retirement, I will look back at all that we have accomplished together at the Foundation with a sense of pride. We did a lot together, and I know that the Foundation has so much more yet to come. Again, I thank all of you for all that you have done to help and encourage me these past 25 years. To the board and committees, my mentors, and my friends, I will think of you fondly, and I look forward to see what lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. God bless you and enjoy this next chapter. Thank you all for coming tonight. This is your foundation, and it's an honor for us to assist you in fulfilling your passions and your dreams by establishing charitable vehicles designed to create a positive and enduring impact on Jewish Buffalo, Western New York, and the world. Everyone, please go get that bottle of wine and get a glass. For those of you who can join me in a toast, please raise your glass. Honoring our legacy, celebrating our donors, envisioning the future. To the next 100 years, may the foundation and Jewish Buffalo remain strong. L'chaim. Through the T-Berg Musical Legacy Fund at the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies and the generosity of Dr. Enrico Mihich, the original T-Berg musical scores are being preserved. If you would like to see a live performance of T-Berg's music, you can travel to Austria on November 15th, where under a license from the Foundation for Jewish Philanthropies in Buffalo, New York, you'll be able to listen to the Orchestra of Vienna, one of the oldest orchestras in Austria, founded in 1859, perform T-Berg's Second Symphony. Thank you for coming. And now please enjoy some photographic memories and the music of Marcel T-Berg as performed by the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra.